Good evening, everyone. I'm Dorene Decibus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and it is time for Simply Stamping Sunday. I apologize for the about 11-minute delay. I just could not get my technology to do what I needed it to do, and it just kept changing rotation on me and wouldn't let me when I hit the go live button. It just wasn't letting me go live, so it looks like I am live now, so I hope we are good to go. All right, so let's talk about the stamp set we are using this month. It is a great autumn stamp set. It is called Pick of the Patch, and as you can see, just going to make sure you can see the whole set. As you can see, it has a variety of different images. It celebrates fall, it celebrates Thanksgiving, and it also celebrates Halloween. So we have 5 different pumpkins, a gourd. We have a tree branch, some vines, a stem for the pumpkins, a black crow, some leaves, a bouquet kind of leaves, a jack-o'-lantern face, some leaves, and then some dots up here. And then for our sentiments, we have a harvest of blessings, you're the pick of the patch, happy Halloween, cutie pie, and thanks so much. I really can't believe that we are already into the month of October. It just blows my mind away how fast every time is just moving, especially since we started back to school. So this is a photopolymer stamp set, and it is found in the new or latest, it's not so new anymore, it came out almost a month ago. It's in the current mini occasions catalog. So this is something that is worth the pickup. It also comes with a punch. On Simply Stamping Sunday, we're not going to use the punch because we're only using, as you remember, ink, paper, and stamps. So we won't be using any of the accessories that might come with a set. I just want to show you all the great things you can do with those 3 items. For ink this week, we're going to be using Pumpkin Pie, Mossy Meadow, and Early Espresso. And tonight we're going to be creating a very cute card. I'll show you that in a minute. I am going to be using the Best Wishes sentiment from the Layering Leaves. This is a set that we used during the month of August. So it was a lot of fun to use. So you may have this from when we were stamping in August, but that's the sentiment we're going to be using tonight. Okay, so for cardstock, let me just move the stamp sets in ink out of the way until we need it. For cardstock, you are going to need an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. You can decide which piece, what color you're using based on what you are going to be stamping, but I'm using crumb cake. I'm also going to be using a 4 by 5.25 piece of crumb cake. That's what I'm going to be doing my stamping on. I have here a 3/8 by 5.25, I believe. Yes, 3/8 by 5.25 piece of Early Espresso cardstock. And I also have a 2-inch by 2.5-inch piece of Early Espresso cardstock. And then finally, I have a piece of 1.5 by 2.25-inch piece of basic white cardstock. So the card we're going to be making tonight is this. So it's just a Best Wishes cardstock. I don't need to add anything on the inside because it's the crumb cake, so I can write. Love it when I use a neutral color. But it gives us a little bit of dimensions by how I use the Early Espresso cardstock. So let's get started. I'm going to start by stamping on my tag first with my greeting and my pumpkin. So I'm going to grab my Best Wishes stamp, and I am going to ink up my stamp, my Best Wishes. Make sure I get it up the way all inked up. And I'm going to be putting this in the bottom left-hand corner of the piece of cardstock. There we go. Such a nice, bold image, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to use it. I'm not going to use the Early Espresso for a couple of minutes, so I'm just going to put that aside, and I'm going to grab the tiniest pumpkin out of the pumpkin patch pick, and I'm going to ink it up in pumpkin pie ink, and I am going to be stamping this up in towards the upper right near the image, the sentiment. And then I'm going to take my mossy meadow and my stem, or my vine, and I am going to be stamping that across the top. So let me just get that in place. There we go. So my label is all done. So I'm going to just mount that on my piece of Early Espresso cardstock using my Stampin' seal. I'm just going to make sure it has, oh, you know something? I cut this down, so I need to cut down this. I forgot to cut this down. I actually made it smaller so that there wasn't a lot of white space left. So I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch. I think that's what I need to take off. Let's see if that's better. I forgot that I did that. That's perfect now. So I just cut that down by 1/8 of an inch just to have it fit a little better. Okay, there we go. That's our tag for the front of the card. Now I am going to take my piece of crumb cake that is going to be layered on the front, and I am going to start by just sort of in the middle. So if I have this, so I have that line going right down the middle, that will help me. 2, 4, 6, 8.5, 2, 4, 6.5. So I need to go up 2, 2, 4, 6.5, 2, 6, 7. Okay. So I want to go right across the middle of my cardstock. So I'm going to actually use this middle piece as my guide. And I'm only going to be stamping in the Early Espresso ink. And I'm going to be stamping these kind of above and below that line. And I'm going to be coming back and adding some dots as well. So it's okay if they're a little bit apart, just to get some of those dots in. I can change the leaves around, turn them as I'm stamping to get some different images. There we go. Now I'm going to take the dots that come with this set and just start adding them at the top and the bottom. So I'm just going in to be kind of between the leaves, just to add a little bit of interest. Don't have to be even across. There we go. So now I have some of the top half and the bottom half going. So now I am going to be putting this piece of Early Espresso right down the middle, and that will take up any space that's not stamped and hide it between here, and it will just give us kind of like a little bit of a break on the page. So I'm just going to put that right down the middle. There we go. So that's what this part looks like right now. Just going to grab my bone folder as I color this in. Fold this over. Okay, so this is just going to go right on top. I love doing color on color when I am doing layers. It's just a nice way to add some depth and dimension to your card by layering them on top of each other. And so, do I want it this way? I think I'm going to go this way. There we go. And then this is going to go right over that the middle of the card. How easy is this to do? What a simple card. Now I can go inside and I can always add some of my leaves and dots. So I just want to make it interesting on the inside. I don't like leaving my inside of my card totally empty with no stamps. This one is probably one I would just write a letter in, or just a little bit of a heartwarming message. So I'm just adding this little border of leaves at the bottom, and then I can go through and just add some dots where I think they will fit in. They don't have to go everywhere. But just to kind of mimic what I did on the front. So there we have it. October has 5 Sundays in it, so I'm going to be coming live to you with Simply Stamping Sunday 5 times this month that I am pretty excited about. And I will be throwing in some bonus cards different weeks, so I hope you plan on joining me. If you need information about ordering the Pick of the Patch so that you can stamp along with me, just let me know and I can get that info out to you. Otherwise, you can just go to my website, DoreneDecibus.stampinup.net, and place an order there. But I hope you join me. You can always use any pumpkins that you have to work with this month. So we will be doing some monochromatics stamping this month. We're going to learn how to make a fractured card this month. Let's see, what else do I have in store? We're going to make some Halloween cards one week. And I've just got lots of good things planned. So I hope you join me next Sunday for week 2 of Pick of the Patch. And also join me Friday night for Simply Stamping Sunday. I have an incredible fold to show you this Friday night during Fun Fold Friday using the Divine, which card what set is it? It is the, let me just look, Night Divine. And it is just a fantastic fold and a fantastic card. Okay, I will see you either Friday night or next Sunday for another edition of Simply Stamping Sunday. Good night, everybody.